The difference that I see in Masjid Ali. I've been here, even recited a couple of Majlis here also at different occasions. But I think this time I see that involvement of the young people is very visible. And that's a very good sign, because we have to train young people to take on the leadership role and encourage them, because they are the ones who are going to carry on the torch in the future. And so that is a very encouraging sign, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the tawfiqat of all those who are working in the name of Allah, Rasul, and the Imam of the time. Ajjalallahu ta'ala farju sharif.
Allahumma salli ala Mohmmad.
Basically, the general theme that I had was Karbala in our lives, and we talked about different issues from Silat al-Rahim, maintaining the family ties, a little bit about the issue of, halal sustenance, and also talking about the process of divine guidance in form of tawfiq and khizlan, using the example of Hur and Umar ibn Sa'ad. And we went on to talk about the importance of the wilayat of Ahl-e-Bait and its demand upon us, and also the spirit of sacrifice and the role of women in Karbala. We talked about the youths and their responsibilities in a general sense, emphasizing on the issue of taqwa, and also the issue of brotherhood, whether we are talking about religious level or on a blood relationship level. We talked about also what does it mean to be with Rasulullah, and how we can be with Rasul even though we come 14 centuries after him, and ended with the issue of the purpose of the mission of Hussein ibn Ali. For tonight, I have actually selected 2 or 3 questions that people normally ask about the events of Karbala. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk about those issues, so that, many times people have these questions, but they do not come forward to, raise that. And so this will be the opportunity just to share at least my perspective of those issues with you all. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala.
One of the issues is about the historical figure known as Mohmmad Hanafiya, the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allahumma salli ala.
And the question people raise is that why wasn't he in Karbala with Imam Hussein alayhi salam? And this is where we have to realize that, not everybody has to be every place. The world doesn't work in that way. And when you look at the status of the Shuhada of Karbala, their status is unique. Among all the Shuhada of the past and the future, the Shuhada of Karbala are at the top. And among them, according to the hadith of the 4th or the 6th Imam, the status of Abbas bin Ali is at the top. Other Shuhada actually will have ghibta. They will be envious, not jealous, that I also would have that status. So they are very unique. And it is not for us to say those who were not part of this process of Shahadat in Karbala, they are all, misguided, they are all batil, we should not look at them. No, as a good, Muslims or Shias, these are 2 different issues. If somebody was not there in Karbala on that day, maybe far away or whatever was the circumstances, that does not necessarily mean that that person was deviated from the path and he was opposed to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Maybe circumstances didn't, allow him. And this is where, you can ask the same question about Mukhtar. Where was Mukhtar? He is
resident of Kufa.
And when Muslim bin Aqil came, he was there. But at the time of the events of Karbala, Mukhtar was in the prison. He was in jail. And so, everybody had a different situation. You cannot just say because all those who were not there in Karbala are to be condemned. MashaAllah, we make judgments very, quickly, even though we look at events 100 years ago. And when it comes to Muhammad Hanafiya, you have to realize he is son of Ali, raised by Ali. Yes, he is not a daughter of Fatima al-Zahra, salawatullah alayha. His mother came from the background of slavery, but that doesn't, diminish his status as the son of Ali. Amir al-Mu'minin used to love him. He used to say, "You are my son." And this is where, if you look at on Ashura, we talked about the written will of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in which he talks about what is my mission. There you will see that this is a wasiyyat from Hussain ibn Ali, addressed to his brother Muhammad bin Amir al-Mu'mineen. So he is addressing his brother. The wasiyyat is addressing Muhammad Hanafiya. That itself should be a certificate that he is okay in the eyes of Hussain ibn Ali. Maybe Imam Hussain alayhi salam wanted Muhammad Hanafiya, an adult person who knows the circumstances, to be there so that he can send him reports about what is going on back in Medina. So you cannot just say just because he was left in Medina, it means he was a wrong person or deviated. No, not at all. Even after the events of Karbala, we see that we can use this term that Muhammad Hanafiya became the Bab for Imam Sajjad. When we say Bab, means he became kind of the person in the front. Sometimes Imam Zayd al-Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam was not in a situation that he would make a declaration on an issue. And this is where you needed a mechanism to protect the life of Imam, and somebody will take the front. And this is where that person becomes the Bab of the Imam, to protect the Imam, and that is Muhammad Hanafiya. The Shias would know that although this statement is coming from Muhammad Hanafiya, but he is not the origin of that. It is coming from Imam Zayn al-Abidin. And this is where we have to realize that he also played a corrective role in that way. As far as his relationship with his siblings are concerned, there's a very interesting event about the Battle of Al-Siffin, I would say, where Amir al-Mu'mineen, before I come to the Salawat,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Ali raised Muhammad Hanafi also. And Amir al-Mu'mineen did something very special about the children of Fatima. Allah had blessed him, mashallah, with more than 20 children of different wives. But when it came to, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, or Zainab and Umm Kulsum, Amir al-Mu'mineen used to treat them differently. They were his children, others were also his children, but they were also grandsons of Rasulullah. They were children of Fatima. That status had to be maintained even in the eyes of Ali when he was raising his own other children. He wanted to make sure that they realize that they are my children like the others, but the difference is that they are also grandchildren of Rasulullah. And that is a unique status. For example, if you look at will number 24 in Ahl-e-Bait, the section of letters and wills, there you will see there is a property that Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen made it as a waqf, endowment for his own children. I talked in the afternoon Majlis about this concept of waqf al-awlad, where you can make a property which generates income as a waqf, not only for charity, That's one way of doing it. But you can also say this is a waqf for my children. What means is that once it is a waqf, it cannot be sold. Your children, your grandchildren, your descendants cannot ever sell that. But then you can put the conditions on how the revenues to be used by the children or the descendants who come later on. Maybe when they would give away 10% or 1/3 in charity, the rest used for their own, needs. And so Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he established this, what we call, the gardens of palm trees around Medina, some of them he made it, waqf for his own children. And the revenue of that continued till the days of 69. And one of the deeds that he signed for that, and this is between, after the Battle of Siffin, when it was coming back to Kufa, there he says, فَإِنَّهُ يَقُومُ بِذَلِكَ الْحَسَنِ, that after me, as long as I am alive, I will manage this property. After I pass away, then Hassan bin Ali will manage it. He will be the custodian of that. يَأْكُلُ مِنْهُ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْفَقْ مِنْهُ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. He will use appropriate portion of it for his own use and the use of the family, and the rest he will use it for sadaqah. And then he says, if something happens to Hassan, then Hussein will take on the custody. And then he mentions something, this is Ali. وَإِنَّ لَإِبْنَي فَاطِمَةَ مِنْ صَدَقَةِ عَلِيٍّ مِثْلَ الَّذِي لِبَنِي عَلِيٍّ. He said, the right of this revenue that I have as an endowment, the children of Fatima has same right as my other children. He says, the Ibn Fatima and Bani Ali, the other children who are not from Fatima. He says they are all same. وَإِنَّمَا جُعِلْتُ الْقِيَامِ بِذَلِكَ إِلَى بَنِي فَاطِمَةَ, but I have given the custody of this property first to Hassan and Hussein, the sons of Fatima, ابتغاء وجه الله, in seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because even when Ali is giving preference to Hassan and Hussein, he is looking at the qurbat and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَقُرْبَةً إِلَى رَسُولِ اللَّهِ, and so that I can seek this, nearness with Rasulullah. وَتَكْرِيمًا لِحُرْمَتِهِ, and to respect this honor of Rasulullah, وَتَشْرِيفًا لِوَصْلَتِهِ, and to honor the relationship which is there between me and Rasul through them. And so Amir al-Mu'minin himself, made sure that his other children realize you are equal to them as far as being my children are concerned. But remember that the children of Fatima, especially Hassan and Hussein, have a special status. Salawat.
Allah.